English players do not tend to move abroad. This may be because the Premier League is regarded as the best league in the world. However, sometimes the need to move arises, and when it does, something spectacular could happen. Just look at Kane and Bellingham tearing it up outside of England. Harry can't stop scoring, and Jude is becoming the main man for the Galacticos. However, not all English players have had success abroad. Some have had less than impressive stints. From high-flying, stylish David Beckham to injury-riddled, clumsy Jonathan Woodgate, in this video, we'll go over the successes and failures of English players playing abroad. Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho is a flop, but unlike some other players on this list, he didn't flop abroad. The electric English winger was in fine form as part of Manchester City's under-17 academy players. He played in the under-17 European Championship, winning the player of the tournament. City noted his development and offered him a bumper deal of £30,000 weekly. Initially, Sancho wanted to sign, but when Borussia Dortmund came for him, he backed out of the agreement with City. He also stopped training and refused to go on the pre-season tour with City to force a move away. Sancho got what he wanted, and off he went to join the Bundesliga team in 2017. In the Bundesliga, Sancho impressed and quickly became an integral part of Dortmund's team. The winger would score 38 goals and assist 51 times in 104 for Dortmund. To crown his efforts, Sancho also won the DFB Pokal with them. It was his spectacular performance with Dortmund that saw City's rival Manchester United coming knocking for the player. United secured Sancho's signature for a massive €85 million. Unfortunately, Sancho would not be able to replicate his form at United, and things got so bad that he had to take a break from playing. Despite being in Manchester before his Dortmund stint, Sancho just couldn't settle. Eventually, in the 2023-2024 season, he fell out with Manchester United's coach Erik ten Hag and returned to Dortmund again on loan in January for the end of the 2023-24 season. When he returned to Dortmund, he quickly contributed 2 assists in 2 matches and looked like he would be picking up where he left off. Unlike Sancho, the next guy was superb both at home and abroad. Gary Lineker. Newer fans of the sport may be familiar with Gary Lineker as a pundit, but in his heyday, he was a thorn in the flesh of defenders. Gary Lineker is a Leicester City legend, scoring 58 goals in 104 appearances for the side. After moving to Everton in 1985 and scoring 35 goals in 48 games for the club, Lineker would have an exceptional stint at the 1986 FIFA World Cup. During the competition, the player scored 6 goals and ended up winning the Golden Boot to add to his PFA Players Player of the Year, which he won for his performance at Everton. Who knows what could have been for the English striker if Diego Maradona hadn't deployed the infamous Hand of God. It was his World Cup performances that announced to the world that he was a deadly forward, and in 1986, FC Barcelona came for him. Lineker joined the Blaugrana and immediately hit the ground running for them, scoring 21 goals in his first season. The player would end his time in Barcelona with a 51-goal haul, which included the hat-trick he scored against Real Madrid in the El Clasico. Lineker would also win a European Cup Winners' Cup and a Copa del Rey with Barcelona. Lineker wouldn't be the only English player who would score in an El Clasico. This next guy did too. Michael Owen. Michael Owen and Jonathan Woodgate are 2 peas in the pod of not achieving success abroad. The 2 players left for Real Madrid in the 2004 summer transfer window and were 2 of the best in their positions. Owen, before leaving, had 118 league goals, and Woodgate was popular as one of the most enticing defenders in European football. The 2 were supposed to increase Madrid's level, but nothing is guaranteed. Owen and his family failed to adapt to Spain, and his off-field issues spilled into his on-field performances. Owen wasn't a starter, but he could still help from the bench, scoring 16 goals and having 4 assists in 45 appearances across competitions. This wasn't Owen's usual standard, but another striker would call this tally a successful season. The player spent just a season in Madrid before jumping ship. He returned to the Premier League, where he immediately found his form and goal-scoring boots again. Jonathan Woodgate. Jonathan Woodgate had a poorer time in Madrid than Owen. The defender arrived in Spain at the Santiago Bernabeu nursing an injury. Honestly, Madrid's decision to buy him despite his injury was shocking. It took over a year for him to make his debut, and it was terrible. He scored an own goal, and we wish it ended here. But it was just the beginning. Woodgate then got a red card for 2 bookable offences. With that mess of a debut, Spanish publication Marca voted him the worst signing of the 21st century. It didn't get better for the Englishman, and he eventually left Real Madrid after 14 appearances, resulting in 2 poor signings from Madrid. Kieran Trippier. Kieran Trippier loves the dark art of football, but maybe he loves Atletico Madrid coach Diego Simeone even more. Simeone is a master of the dark arts, and some of it might have rubbed off on Trippier, who joined Atletico Madrid from Tottenham Hotspur in the summer of 2019 on a 3-year contract. With the transfer, Trippier became Atletico's first English player in 95 years. The right-back had to change aspects of his game to fit into Diego Simeone's well-drilled side. Trippier became a key man for Atletico Madrid in that first season, and he grew as a player for this. Trippier's defensive ability increased as he began to record a better success rate in tackles and duels. Even in attack, Trippier became more potent as he improved his ability to create chances and his passing accuracy in the final third. So, where are we going with all of this? Trippier became a better player abroad and an integral man in a new team in an unfamiliar environment. The former Spurs man would then go on to win the La Liga with Atletico Madrid in his second season with them, which was a huge feat for Atletico as they battered the ever-strong Real Madrid and Barcelona. Steve McManaman. While people often remember the stylish David Beckham in Real Madrid's white colours, Steve McManaman made his move to the La Liga club first. The electric winger joined Los Blancos in 1999 after a successful spell in Liverpool. Although, with the array of talent Liverpool players had at the time, there is the feeling that they should have achieved more than they did. McManaman only had an FA Cup and League Cup to show for all his years at the Merseyside club. It would be with Real that the player enjoyed immense success as he won 2 La Liga titles, 2 Supercopa de España, 2 Champions Leagues, and a UEFA Super Cup. Talk about decorated. It wasn't that McManaman was a passenger during Real Madrid's trophy haul. The player scored 14 times and assisted 20 during his 158 appearances for Real. With the number of trophies he won, he is perhaps the most successful English footballer to play abroad. Do you think Jude Bellingham will top this? David Beckham. David Beckham, off the back of a great Manchester United career, which saw him score 85 times and assist 120 times, transferred to Real Madrid in 2003. There, he won the La Liga before leaving in 2007 for MLS side LA Galaxy and spending 5 years there. During his time with LA Galaxy, Beckham won 2 MLS Cups and had 2 short loans with AC Milan in 2009 and 2010. He eventually ended his career at PSG and won the Ligue 1 as his final trophy. Why is it that English players don't tend to play abroad? Let us know what you think. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more.